just met. Yes! What in God's name were you thinking? Yes! That was not my intention! Look, Shush! South Park fans suck! They always get arrested! What do you mean? Oh, House. Public. Oh well. Ohio. House. You need to stop talking about the Democrats. Hello, Meadow! We saw the... As I was saying, remixed by the Living Tombstone. Make sure to Google it! Okay, let's head upstairs before Axis... Hello! Axis! On the X and the Y! Can I ask you a question? Yes, what is it? It is a question about a... no, a question for the question. I have the question. Huh? Workstations. Workstations work. And have an OS. Yeah, that's what happens. Oh yeah, bullet points. I'm in Texas. Please help. I don't want to be here. It's the manager's office. I need to speak with them. Oh, no, don't speak to your manager. Hold on. Look here. It's AB 1162XX. Great. They're unchristianing them. What? They're trying to make the U.S. lose Christianity. Citing the First Amendment. 5102XX. Many senators are against me. They are claiming oppression. 723-2XX. They're stating that they also have religious freedom. Lucius Smith was against this. I believe they should all be Christians. What? What are you talking about? 923-2XX. Estimating that by 2025, everyone in the U.S. will be... No! It starts in Miami. Start taking non-Christians. No! Taking them to... No! And they will read the Bible every day. Until they turn Christian? Only then will they be set free. Until they are Christian. What the fuck, Asgore? All of them, he says. All of them. All of us. Don't take my word for it. A while back, Fortnite released on Steam. Took the world by storm. Steam had to go down for ages. Even then, it's just a battle royale. What's so special about it? I don't get its popularity. Screw the boomers! Sorry for having a miscarriage. All of this is a roller coaster. Bet you're pretty tired of Egypt. What about you? Like tourist? Because I can't find myself. See. Sweet. Tomatoes. I'm assuming your gender. Whoa. Ivanka Trump's a... Wonder how Fox News will respond. Fox News is crazy. Maybe it's being kept secret. Daunting array of fun. Stop using email. Castration. Bad Dragon. DualShock 3. Lexington. Well, you spot some weed in the machine. You got some weed. Hell, man, I'm bringing Twitter fury. I'm tweeting against this. I am this close to giving birth right now. My husband doesn't sell weed. His son doesn't, but sometimes he smokes it. Oh wait, maybe Hillary just fainted. 18. That's a social security. That's what? That's nice. Jesus, Axis, are you okay? There's a charge? What? Why did I say a... This isn't a game. Wait, this isn't... Or is it a game? Oh no. He's starting to become existential. I am starting to regret saying that. I don't mean to offend. I would never. He's just saying slurs. However, I'm almost through. I'm trying to color the dress. The legs are in the way. I can hear you. I know about EA. I do not run on coke. In fact, I am. Screw Trump. TF2. I don't like it. I hate TF2, even if it is an esports. Axis is staring at the what? The Yuri fever dream? And big. That's there about a presenter shot. Oh. Of course. Axis. What? Did you know I gave birth? Oh, like a calendar? I'm alive! Into the closet! I'm at the store. Holy shit! Okay, that's enough. I think my child... No! This emotion, it feels so dirty. Like from 2016. This is my award. Glad we can finally spoil people.
What's happening?
Whoa, slow down.
Huh?
Mom's got accident and scratch her name. Her. Yikes. Thanks. And that's why we're here. Right? It's the guy from for some reason said, akala ko namin si here is C, right? Right?
Yeah, so I'm supposed to be doing my assignment right now, but I can't do any work with all those loud noises in the karaoke. And apparently more stuff's going on. What fun.
Okay.
Let's get another cannon. Stop.
Pupante, di na tama. Tamaan. So yung uso nila, yung kwet, kasi yung kwet sa ano, paalis na. Tapos yung uso nila nasa.
Nice. Yeah, these places usually always have claymores inside them. So if your mining implement ever runs out of durability, yeah, claymores and rocks. Ooh, hard sediment. You get a lot of value out of a cannon in these areas. For your zonite. Oh, I believe this is the location for one of the armor pieces. Yes, yes, yes.
God?
Another soldier.
Yan na, may! Ay, Joan! Panawag na! Anan! Oh.
What's up, bitch? Ooh, it's always the freaking chest piece I find first. What's up with that? Anyway, this is weaker than my current armor right now.
Here, you want to know a secret? I know a secret. I'm an atheist, along with David. David is a cat. Okay. Alright, good. Give it a shot. Hello, my name is Axis. I have I never bother. Hey, remember what I talked about? Who the hell is writing this? I don't think this person is a writer. Wow, that book sucked. I gotta say, Sarah is hot. I hope she follows my blog and subscribes. It makes me angry. I see that this is Twitter. Close. Trump trade policy. Next stop, 2007. And what are you planning to do about it? New York? The gang and I were planning on rafting today, but this idiot decided to drink the bathwater. That's great. Yeah, well, we went to San Diego today and saw little tidbits of voting information. Votes that were hidden. The votes were not counted. Sarah, but what's actually going on here? Do you support Barack Obama? No. Why? Just can't. Wait it. Why do you hate Trump?
For hard sediment, you really need to use a claymore.
Go. Over
Or bombs.
Sarah!
You can guess what I have been using by now.
Hey, that's me the aux cord. I love music. Right. Kanye West is a hypocrite. That's a jam. Where's Star? Fox News. Alone? Why did you let him on that bus? Adam's coming. Well, I'm not so sure of that anymore. Clover. Clover, 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 Clover. January 11th. Why are you so grumpy? I just like Facebook games.
So there's a mod in Breath of the Wild that makes it so all of the armor is much easier to find rather than purchase. And it's really cool that Tears of the Kingdom does exactly that with its armors. The only armors you can really buy are the ones that are like super boring and basic. Everything else you need to find. And where else could you find them other than underground?
Find a way, my brothers. Until then, come on, Clover. What? Hey, before we go, did you know that Bugs Bunny is BRB? And what about Joe? Joe Mama? Stop making your mama jokes, please! I have it? I have all of it. All of it. I should have asked where Canada is located, huh? I guess we can find neighbors. It's... What? C6? This must be where Pikachu stores his Pokeballs. You think my balls should be cut off? No! Alright then, Harry Potter. 1, 2, 3. Oh my. Nicki Minaj? What? Selena Gomez. Vanessa Hudgens? Panties.
This might just be for... Never mind, there's something inside.
Panties are comfortable. I agree. And periods? Okay, now you're taking it too far. Hi. How are you today? Greetings. This is... Greetings. This is John. I just picked my nose. And it's not just kept on coming. That is all for now. Signing off. Chujin, I just picked my nose. Signing off, okay? Okay, this is Chujin. Today I want a piece of paper and drew on it. That's what had happened. Teacher took it away. She said I was too distracted, that I wasn't paying enough attention. My grades were failing. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I'll get back at her someday. This cannot continue any longer. I will get my revenge. This is Chujin with unfortunate news. The sun disappeared. Oh shit. The vampires came and took it. The earth is now in pitch black. And soon, we'll all be destroyed. Unless I told Sarah Ma I was addicted to crack. But enough of that. It's in the past. This is Chujin. After years of research, I found a way to pirate every video game in Japan. I was able to reach this conclusion because I pirated This Nintendo is out to get me. I believe it was worth it. Pirating is a good thing, which is what I would say. If I was a pirate, this is Chujin. I have captured the Unagi with Goku, and I have dismissed Omega emails. I'll be direct. My political opinion is changing. However, I am still a liberal. This is a message to my dear Sarah. Protect Mother Earth. I know you like your fluids. And adults, I need you to obtain air. Find the disc labeled air. You'll need, damn it all. Search for a way into New Jersey. There must be a way. That is my final wish. Oh. Hello, this is Chujin. I just picked my nose. Signing off.
She still can't get over that.
I never knew. Essential oil spurs. Damn. Clover Schlover. Come on. So, you have figured it out? Yes. Mr. Stark is making an airship that will fly over Los Angeles. I won't make it to 40. Fuck! Bill Clinton is on the toilet! And with my— oh no! That's the alarming part! There's a bear behind you. Ah! I'm dinosaur hunting. In Spanish. Please enable JavaScript to watch this video. Galaxy? That was a pun. That was not a pun! It's a pun to me. Puns are real to me. Alright. Maybe that was a pun. Maybe I love puns. Maybe puns aren't my thing. Wow, I hate puns. See that heart? Oh, shit. Oh, howdy! Alfred Hitchcock. For Dicks and Giggles, let's make soup. I mean, soap. The 2010. You died 2 times. Wow! You suck ass! Let me play next time. I'm way better than you. Wish chat would stop backseating. Feel mortified by the bags. There should be a new term for this. Let's call it call seats. But that happens in autumn. What about front seating? Or middle seating? Well, I don't know when I'll get another chance to say it, so I'll say this now. I was birthed. Once I saw a group of kids bullying a gay boy, for calling him this became my genesis. I joined— oh no! And they I was homophobic. But now, I still am, but I don't say slurs anymore. I realize that slurs are bad, but I know one thing. I can't say— oh, stop! Okay. Peter needs to talk to his wife. Come on, Peter. Peter, please! Wait, Peter's dead. Bean stole Peter's wife. Bean, why? So, what? Sarah looks hot. Oh, jeez. Lesbian 100. With more thunderstorms on the way. Well, wait, what? Michigan, just lead me to my Getty images. You can't let them take over. Please calm down. I must go to the government and get rid of labor. Brexit. I'm not sure I'm into Zelda. Don't get in my way. Olympics? Welcome to English class. We'll start by talking about Chinese. What? Why are you a character? This is about Ford. No, it's about coffee.
There's supposed to be
If I were you two, I would kiss Zin.
someone here.
And pee myself.
Where did they
I
go?
lied about Nancy Pelosi.
First things first, I guess.
What? It's what Alex told me to do. And I hate lying. Sorry.
Let's just make a new one.
I'm trying to figure it out. I already closed the comments. Nako is the last person I kissed. And I threw her back to, Saraba? The Chujin you knew? He made an epidemic. No, Martless right. We're all allowed to voice our opinions. Chujin was a short story written by Arian Smith set in Inaki with the purpose of displaying interactions between Koreans, Chinese, and Japanese people in South Korea. I read it. It's just eggs. Or political. Is it communism? Communism isn't— shut up. Is all you care about is politics? We stop talking about politics? Dad, my thoughts exactly. Sarah, but please. I'm done with the politics. Have to be conservative. Liberals aren't allowed here. I'm not a liberal. I have to call Trump over. Please enable JavaScript to watch this video. Clover public schools are returned to class, thanks to the storm sewer. That chemical spill, I've somehow installed Windows. The blue one, not the red one. Windows sucks. Linux is better. I love Linux. I'm guessing you already knew this. You're in serious trouble. Is that it? That must be it. But that can't be it. But that must be it. Or is that it? But that can't be it. Or is that it? I don't think that's it. But maybe that is it. Monsieur Smith is it. He is always it. That is it. That might not be it. Or it might be it. Or is that it? Or is it? That might be it. But maybe it doesn't have to be it. Maybe it has to be it. I am it. I am all of it. I am what I might not be it. What? Truthfully? Oh, I was joking. It was all one big joke. Bye. So it's come to this. Fox News. No, not Fox News! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Please! The future of Godzilla! What would you like to wear tomorrow, honey? H? DS wife? P? Saraba. Yes? I don't. Shauna is the purple one. Hey, what? Picnic sounds political. That's pretty romantical. What are you saying? Gosh. No. It's time for horses. Oh, shut up, stop it. The horses aren't coming. I'm being practical. Sorry, there's something I must tell you. I'm a big pile of horse shit. Like, your feet? My feet are fine. What? I never had feet that hurt. I just had a... I want you to keep... Oh, stop! Tongue was just... Oh. Can't keep going like this.
I found them, guys.
I miss some of my skills. I'm glad. Your fingers will be of use. Why? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why? There must be a way in there. It's my final wish. Don't tell me you read manga. Is it true? What? Am I dead? No. Your father isn't your real father. It's not your real father, so stop it. His dream. Was it to eat chicken? Without eggs? There's a huge reward for it. A toy. 2018. My grandfather died yesterday. Damn. See the leftover extract from the human soul? I can go to college. All student loans. So you did it. You can write the essay. It's what you wanted. Yay. I just... Please. Very well. But I'll call Karen. No, don't. To help with the info. No. Help me. Personalize ads. I'm on. Heroes, huh? Stopping of ads. Yes. We're gonna stop personalized ads. Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Words. No. OMG. No. Install Facebook. This shit's expensive. Nintendo Land on Zelda. Hey. My child. All on. Why wouldn't you just... Funny. Please be funny. Let him live. It's quite different. But now my... Damn. That's that good shit. Getty images. Saraba. You single? Star, or else I'll ask Lucy. Clover! It's finished.
Ah, this one doesn't have any.
Clover. Y'all live in 2018? That's a sign. Wait, reading? I don't know about people, especially Florida. Hurricanes. Cool. Did you know the East Coast has hurricanes? For 17 hours? Daily? Only Trump can fix this. Republicans have a plan to impeach America. What? Can't change a light bulb. Not in this chaos. Not in this stick, but... Chujin.net. China. Chujin sucked. I threw a grenade in his blender. God damn! The aliens will be here soon. They will be. Heartless right. Politics are for Bob, not for Frank. I never thought about it like that. Newspaper? January 8th, 2018? Over? Cloverdale? 178 members. Oh, baby? I want you to no, do not let her finish that sentence. Please. I mean, Clover? What? Lucia Smith and the barrier await us. No, already? As sad as it is, I will lose. Won't work. What? Round one. When's the surprise? I hate when I get boners uncontrollably. If you shoot it, it'll go down. What? If you shoot it, it'll go down. That'll hurt. Yeah. Semicolon? I mean, it's plausible, but isn't golf for rich people? Holes? I can name 5 holes in my body. I could name 6, but what about the others? You know, zombie feet? The age to become orphans? Oh, you're screwed up! I'm sorry, but I don't think you exactly have room to talk right now. You probably want to go home, but you... I'm scared of clowns. What? This cannot continue any longer. I have no idea who's talking. You must have started. I can barely hear it. Your period? What? Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. Anyway, subscribe to my blog. Yes, Lucia Smith is having an art. Lucia Smith is... Teat. I have a theory! Clover. Clover, Slover. Hey, Clover? Slover? It's Tuesday. It's time. Nancy Pelosi? No, that's not what I said. It's time to go. No, that isn't what Trump wants. We have options. Yeah, what about Ryan? And Paul? Can't forget Paul. No, you can't. Please, you gotta listen to us, Clover. Trump, oh, you're serious. I understand. Terribly. This whole time, we were doing this for Trump. What if Trump isn't president? What if Trump isn't president? Trump isn't a real person. But Paul! Surely! Maybe Speaker of the House, but maybe lying. Cover something up. I don't know what to say. Hit me up on Reddit. Pick.twitter.com. You mix it? Clover. Clover.net. For us. It's quite a service. I love Amazon Prime, but it gives me back pain. Insert sappy love poem here. So, can't wait for part 2. I love part 1. Oh, make a blog post. I need home surgery. I'll see you around, partner. Hi, Clover. I'm drunk as hell. I'm sorry I didn't vlog this. We'll make pot later. No. Make holes? Very well. All that work just to go to Denver? Damn, we need better schools. My clothes are scary. After all, John isn't here yet. Oh, who am I kidding? I should write a blog. Seems to be a common theme, isn't it?
I think this is the entrance to the lookout. It sure is. Oh, there were bomb flowers there. Alright. Let us continue the main quest now. Thankfully, sediment rocks don't respawn. When you get rid of them, they're gone forever. It's this guy. Hylia got fed of this guy's shit again and relocated him. But they chose a terrible. Hylia chose a bad spot. Oh, this place will open up soon enough, I suppose. What the hell? Seriously though, what's wrong with Lookout Landing?
I don't really know why humans have two kidneys, but there might be a couple of reasons. An extra reserve in case of injury, for bilateral symmetry, to buy the new iPhone, to serve as a stockpile of organs for higher intelligence. Who knows? But it made me think, how many kidneys to buy the Earth? First off, how expensive is the Earth? Now, this is an impossible task to figure out without knowing who the buyer is. To illustrate this point, someone who collects Pokemon cards would happily pay thousands for a PSA 10 Charizard. But for someone who doesn't know what a Pokemon is, they will see a piece of paper with a drawing of a gerbil shrieking in pain because its tail is on fire. Poor thing. But as a rough estimate, a professor of astronomy estimated the value of the Earth to be around $5 quadrillion. So how many kidneys is that? The price of a kidney on Earth depends on their condition, age, and location. The National Institute of Health reported that in 2020, the average kidney transplant cost in the US was $442,500. But this included the charges for the surgery itself, which accounted for 34% of the total cost, and 7% was for the cost of transplant-related medication, such as antibiotics. On their chart, the procurement cost is shown to be $113,900. So we're going to be using this price for calculations. So by dividing the relevant figures, we can determine the Earth would have the equivalent value to 43,898,156,277.4 kidneys. Who knows what they'll use them for? A filter? A pillow? So many uses. But let's go one step further and consider a scenario where humans are held ransom by a species that closely resembles us but has only one kidney. How much would the ransom be in such a case? The current world population is around 8,070,000,000. However, 1 in 750 people are born with a single kidney. This is called renal agenesis.
Oh,
Since the aliens
really?
insist on being humane, those with only one kidney won't be able to donate their kidney. So 10,760,000 people are off the hook and won't be eligible to donate, leaving us with roughly 8,059,240,000 kidneys that are eligible. If we multiply this amount with the price, we'll be paying an equivalent value of 917 trillion US dollars for them to leave us alone. Also, something to consider is the economic model of supply and demand. For the alien species, since they were only born with one kidney and the removal of a kidney would not be possible without the donor not living, this results in the price of a kidney rising due to the lower supply. So to them, the value of these kidneys are worth more than the equivalent value of 900 trillion USD in their currency. So the next time you're in an argument and someone calls you worthless, useless, unimportant, you can send them this video to bring up the fact that hypothetically, if there were another species that only had one kidney, would be able to accept the human kidney as a transplant, to them, it will be worth a lot.
This one is another very simple track. I mean, it is a Game Boy track, but it's pretty fun. I like the environment. I just love all the boos. Boos are such a cool enemy to have in the game, even if they are really annoying sometimes, especially in Mario Party where they take your stuff. I mean, they're good when you're taking other people's stuff, but when they're taking yours, it's not a fun time. Anyways, we do finish out with that water section. We're able to make our first lap. Pretty short track, pretty simple track. It's just about playing well. They're in that place, which I could have just fell through if I wasn't careful. Sometimes I'm a little scared about that one. And there's only skeleton fish just going through, but I like this part where you get a couple of boosts, you make it to the end, and pretty good driving so far, but Squidward's coming out. Okay, Squidward could be bad for this track. I gotta make sure I don't let that happen. Yeah, I should have known something like that would happen. Squidward, how many times now in this video has he messed me up? He shouldn't be this bad. I remember during the Wii game, we used to make fun of how bad of an item it was, but it actually does so much in this game. Still though, we should be able to finish out there, get one more coin, and that's going to be that race done. So we're on to 3DS Rock Mountain, and this is another track I like. I like a lot of the tracks in this game. That just goes to show how good of a game it is. But what we're going to do, we start right here. We have to get some kind of good turns, especially that really tight turn right there, and this leads us on to a glider section. The glider section is also nice because we can get a couple of coins, and then as we make it right here, what we want to do is drift into there so we can get the correct angle, do a trick, and get a nice speed boost. Then Boo comes, kind of the best time for him to come since I can get a brand new item right away. But now right here, what we want to do is actually not go onto the track. We want to fly as long as possible. That way we don't have to go through any of the turns, and that's pretty nice. Any turns that I can skip on 200cc are definitely going to be worth it, because sometimes it is bad, and then we get hit by a blue shell, and then a lightning as soon as we get on the glider section. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've ever been on this part of the map before. I mean, I knew it existed. I just have never gotten that unlucky, which is kind of funny. But we can make it through those trees. Thankfully, most of them don't actually have hitboxes if you go through the leaves. If you hit the wood, though, then it will stop you. And then we have this boulder section. I really enjoyed that as well. It makes for some fun gameplay.
I have other ways of getting
going over, just skipping all the turns. It feels so good to do that at 200cc. But this cave one more time, just making sure I take a tight turn, get a nice boost off of that. And I'm going to use both of my items since there was an item box right there. So I might as well get two new ones. And I probably got the worst selection of items possible. And that happens. A coin and then a bomb is not what I want to see at all. But we should be fine here. I don't think anybody's using any red shells, and even if they do, it won't be too much of a problem. And you know what? I'm gonna die. Okay, what I was trying to do there was die into the finish line, but I guess I went too far off. And lost a little time. I'm definitely an amazing speedrunner, what can I say? Anyways, Wii Maple Treeway time, another one of these amazing Mario Kart Wii tracks, and another one that has a really cool Ultra Shortcut. I recommend checking that one out. I've actually done a video doing this Ultra Shortcut before, and it's a really fun one to do as well. But we start out kind of unlucky, getting hit by a red shell, and at this point, you have to be very careful. I slow down a ton right there, because it's super easy to fall off and just lose all your speed. Then we see Kamek right here. I am not going to take that jump. Instead, we'll just take the inside path, because that's pretty much always going to be faster than taking the jump, just since you spend so much time in the air. Finally, we can come down here, and we're going to get a couple of tricks off of these routes, which is going to end our first lap. There's also the shortcut over to the right that you can take, but I don't even know if that one's really a shortcut. I think it does give you some extra items, but I don't think it really saves you too much speed. And since we don't have a mushroom, it's definitely not worth it. But we'll come through here. This time, I'm going to have a good amount of speed. I have to be very careful not to die. The nice thing is it does give you the pink really boost. So that's always going to be nice. And yeah, pretty good gameplay so far. Besides this red shell happens at a pretty bad part. I saw Kamek. That was disrespectful. But we get another bomb here. I don't know why this game is loving giving me bombs right now. Literally, give me anything else besides the bomb game. I would appreciate that. Also, not a coin. Okay, I was a little scared that it was going to give me a coin after I said that. But I'm going to try to place this bomb down and maybe hit Kamek. It didn't work. But if it did, it would have been really funny. Now we'll come
that show up at night.
We have a banana and a coin. That's a pretty good setup. Not the worst thing I could have. We'll take another one of these tight turns. It's kind of hard not to go onto that jump on 200cc, but I do see a blue shell. Worst time for it to happen. Please do not happen while I'm in the air. Can we make it to the end? No, we can't, because we get electrocuted. And then that happens. Am I going to lose this race? I think I'm still slightly ahead of Kamek. Thank you. That would have been a very sad finish if I didn't win there. And that leads us on to the Moon Cup with Berlin Byways. And this is another kart level. level. At least it's kind of a car level. This section does have cars, which is the most fun. What I have to do is take a very careful path to not hit these guys, and we just go through there, thread the needle.
Oh, hey, I
and
like
what I want
guys.
to do right here is not actually get a boost right there. Instead, I want to save my boost for this part, hit a light bulb, I guess. But yeah, that way we don't just go into the train, lose a bunch of time. And there we go. It looks like we're pretty good for this first lap. Looking good. Now for the second one, it's going to add in this glider section, and I also want to see if I can get a coin right there off of that dude's surfboard. I don't know why so many people are carrying surfboards on their car. It's in such a weird setup, too, to have the surfboard. Like, you're literally inviting yourself to get tricked off of. But to be fair, maybe that's what they're going for. Again, maybe the Mario Kart Commission is paying these people to drive. It's like, by the way, if you hit our racers, that's extra money for you. But pretty good so
Holy
far.
shit, that was
We
a lot of
have to
damage.
make it through this park. The park is a little bit weird because there are some tight turns, and I did not play that the best. There is one person ahead of me, but oh my gosh, that bomb just scared me so much. I thought it was going to give me a crazy angle, hit off the thwomp, and go directly into me. I would not put it past the game to do that. But here, what we want to do, just take this turn. This part is probably the hardest part with that statue. You have to go around. It's very easy to just hit the wall. And we also get Squidward, which is a very bad time for that to happen, but I was actually able to surprisingly stay alive. Then, of course, there is a blue shell, but it also hits my enemy. He's still going to be able to take home the win, but then there's also a lightning. So many times at the end of the races, it gives us so many things over and over. And that leads us to another one of the best stages, at least in my opinion, DS Peach Garden. Now, right at the beginning, what we're going to want to do is jump over that section instead of driving around it. And I didn't get the best boost right there, but if you do it correctly, you can stay in the grass for a very small amount of time and just save a ton of time. Now, what we want to do on this turn is kind of get a boost right before it happens. Then I'd like taking the left path. That way, it lines us up for a right drift and then another left drift, which works out perfectly. There are the Monty moles in the ground, which are a little annoying, but we were able to ignore them. This time, for the second lap, there's going to be a chain shop that comes through. I don't know who is taking care of Peach's garden, but they need to be paid less money. You definitely can't go through this thing. You're going to get eaten alive, but I guess maybe those are like the guard dogs. So actually, that kind of makes sense. I mean, it's not like the guard dogs have ever worked when Bowser's come through, but at least they're trying something. Now, we will get a blue shell. That is okay. I'm way ahead of everybody else, so not the worst place for it to happen. And now, here's where the track actually switches up. This is a very cool part of the track. Like I said before, I really like when they do this stuff, where for their third lap, or at least for one of the laps, they change something up like in Calamari Desert. For this one, we're actually going to be driving through the track backwards. You can see all the people, and I didn't get a trick there, and then I got hit by that, and then I got hit by a lightning. Many things happening at one part. I do like going through the back. It changes up the dynamic a little bit. It's fun. Now, right here, I will get an item, and that is going to be a banana. I definitely thought it was going to be a coin, and we're going directly through Princess Peach. I don't even care if that messes up your shrubbery. You're going to have to pay more people to do it. We'll try to do this jump one more. Unfortunately, I did not get a boost into it, so not the best thing in the world, but still able to finish out that map pretty easily, way ahead of everybody else. Now we have Merry Mountain, and of course, this is another one of my favorite ones, at least visually, just because there's snow, and it's also Christmas. There's literally a Christmas sleigh taking the presents. I love the environment. Well, what we want to do is actually not take the top path of where that train is going. Instead, what we want to do is take this bottom, and I have to be very careful right there. This snow section is a slippery section, so I'm definitely using my brakes here because it's easy to lose control, go into the off-road, which obviously is not a good thing. But the nice thing about this track is there's the train above us, and it's sending down coins, which is a really cool feature of it. But going through here, again, we will take this bottom path. It's just the best one to take. At least in my opinion, it might be slightly faster to take the top path. I'm not sure. But the bottom path is going to be safer, and usually I think it's going to be faster. Now, I have to be careful. I accidentally hit that rock. That's kind of what we're looking out for. Like I said, you can lose control on these slippery surfaces. It's sad because I love the winter maps, but they are a little annoying sometimes. We will get through that second part, though. There will be a Squidward. Honestly, not the worst place for him to happen because this is a very easy part of the track. And we got our banana for protection. I'm just hoping no more blue shells. We've seen so many. I don't need to see any more blue shells for the rest of my life, I'm not going to lie. But can I get that turn? My worst one yet, by far. It's kind of funny how every single time it just got a little bit worse. It's probably going along with my deteriorating mental state. Look, I'm surviving. Kind of. but this is a lot of tracks. This is definitely a lot of tracks. And next up, to make us 3/4 of the way through this speedrun, we are now on 3DS Rainbow Road, which I really like this stage. Just in general, Rainbow Roads are amazing. And this one is a very fun one because it's pretty difficult. Right at the start with 200cc, what you have to do is kind of control yourself, not take too many of these boosts because they could go very badly. Then we'll get the pink boost off of our mini turbo. We'll be able to then take the right path by doing a slight drift, and that's a pretty good start. Then for the second lap, of course, it is going to change up, and you see all the planets and stuff. This place is just so awesome. We can get a couple of boosts off of these guys, which I will enjoy.
There's no Guardians
which actually
here
works out
anymore.
perfectly because that was as soon as Boo came by. So now we also have a banana. I do appreciate that. We'll try to get a couple of jumps off of these. That way we can get some speed ups. And there is going to be a red shell there. I do have the banana to protect myself though, so that works. And this part is always a part where I can very easily mess up. First, it starts with this spinny area, and we don't actually want to go on those blue things. Instead, we just want to take the regular path, because then we can do a bunch of tricks. Now, hopefully this is not a coin. Of course it is a coin. And there are 2 red shells. Not even just 1, but 2 red shells coming after me. I don't know if we're going to be able to take over the first, but somehow nobody was able to pass me, and there we go, another red shell at the end. I'm just falling off. I love seeing the red shell go into the void. Now for the Fruit Cup, we have Amsterdam Drift, and I really like this stage, especially when you know how to do it. The first times I was playing this game, it was pretty hard because there are a couple of jumps that you have to make blind, and when you're doing 200cc, it is hard to know what to do, but I'll talk about those when we get to them. It starts with this farm area, which is really nice. I love the scenery. We do have a coin, so I will save that as much as possible until I get the item box, but I accidentally used it before I got the item box, and then I got another coin. Yeah, that is not what we want to do, but thankfully I actually wasn't punished for once, and now we're in the water section. The water section is fun because you got the bubbles coming up, you can do some tricks off of them. Kind of hard to control yourself off of that one, but we can lead that into a drift, and then another one into the wall, and just sitting there for a second. There is going to be the red shell, so I'll use that. Then we have this, which I want to start going over to the left right away. And for this last path, we are taking over to the right. There's a couple of these trolleys and stuff, which are a little annoying, and all the racers going through, and the blue shell, pretty much everything at one point. But here is my favorite part of this map, at least now that I'm good, because I know you're not supposed to trick off of that. Instead, you should always drift to the right. I know it's a really small thing, but I'm proud of myself every time I do it, because I have messed up on that part so many times. Then we have to make it through here. Kind of ran into the wall, which isn't the best, but I still should be able to get first place. If not for that green shell, okay, it didn't matter. That was scary. Next, we're on the GBA Riverside Park, and this is another really short track. Not the easiest in the world, because there are some obstacles that we will have to worry about, like these piranha plants that are spitting out their things. You know, it's still funny to me that piranha plant got in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm just thinking about that, because they're using basically the same move that he uses. But pretty much all you have to do is take a tight turn right there, go under the waterfall, which I do enjoy doing, and that's going to be the first lap done. It's just about doing it well, watching out for things like that red shell and all these piranha plants. Some of them have mushrooms, other ones of them have bananas. I'm pretty sure if you hit them with an item, you can actually take it, but obviously there's no real reason for us to do that. And that is going to be second lap done already. Like I said, this is a super fast track. Now we will see a red shell. Thankfully I have the banana, and I got hit by another. It didn't even really help me at the end. And then, of course, there's a blue shell, because why wouldn't there? Even on the really fast tracks, there's a blue shell. But we get hit by a lightning first, which is actually a good thing. I don't mind that. I was trying to get that double item block, which would have been nice, but we... another one. Another lightning. But that's fine. Alright, we're making it to the end. It could have went a lot better if I got better luck, but you know what? We're going to the ocean, which means it is time for Wii DK Summit, and you already know, both it is a winter stage, and it's also a Wii stage, so you already know this is one of my favorite stages in the game. But what we do is actually a cool strategy where we want to drift over to the left, that way we get on that boost pad, then we can get on that second one, which allows us to miss all that off-road terrain, and just go through there right away. That's a cool strategy I always enjoy doing. There's also a skip you can do going through those 2 craters, but it's really not worth it, especially being 2.5 hours in the run. Then for here, I want to dodge those Shy Guys. do a couple of these, and this is just something I like doing for fun because I remember doing it on my Wii as a kid, where you kind of like take that angle, and Yoshi definitely should have crashed, but somehow because it's Mario Kart, you're able to survive. I just always find that fun. Now, I do see a blue shell coming up. We will try to get this trick a second time. Just go off that, get one of those, and it just puts you in the perfect position.
not
There are obviously
idea.
other ways to do this track,
Oh well,
but
it's
I
too
think
late
that's probably one of the best ones. Now, we do have the double banana, kind of the worst points out Squidward, and also a lightning. The Squidward isn't that bad, though. Pretty good spot for it to be, all things considered. And now we just have to make it through these Shy Guys again. They're in kind of scary spots, so, yep, not the best thing I've ever done. And we'll just skip that jump for this time. Don't worry, we will do it the third time. Now we can go through here. We'll get something that isn't a coin, which that's going to be a green shell. You know, it'll protect me. Now we'll try this trick one more time. I do not know what just happened there. I'm gonna try to do this, and yeah, it did not work exactly how I wanted, but the mushroom saved us anyways. It doesn't really matter. Now for this last one, that is not what I was trying to do, but it surprisingly worked out. You know what? We'll take it. I don't think I even lost any time because of that. Then we have to make it through the Shy Guys. I'm going to try to do my thing one more time. I'm pretty sure this loses time, but it's just so much fun. It's just a good time, man. So for this next race, we're now on to Yoshi's Island, and this is just such a cool track. A little known fact about me, I'm actually a huge Yoshi fan. Like, I've played all the Yoshi games, and I enjoy them so much. Another cool fact is when I was a kid, my favorite color, I decided that my favorite color was green, and my reasoning for that is that Yoshi's green. So therefore, since Yoshi's green, my favorite color is green. And then my other thing was, the reason that Yoshi is my favorite Mario character is because he's green. So, you know, it kind of worked both ways. I was a weird kid. But yeah, this is fun. You got the Shy Guys just on their thing. You already know how much I love Shy Guys. And you have the Piranha Plants, all the different environment. It's just a good spot. And I love the sound effects when you collect the coins and things like that. It was a beautiful homage. I do enjoy this stage. Now, once you make it onto this cloud section, you definitely don't want to take one of those boosts. And one thing we are aiming for is that cloud. If we can get that, that will speed us up just a tiny bit by being able to take that path. And we also get a couple of coins, so it's always worth it to get. But it's pretty hard to sometimes. And also, what was that? I don't even know. I ran into that. And then there's also that. I was trying to actually get eaten by the Piranha Plant first. That way, it would be less of a bad thing to happen. But what ended up happening was the Piranha Plant also got hit by the blue shell. Kind of deserved. I don't really feel bad about it, but sorry about that, man. Anyways, we will take this path. I'll see if I can get the cloud one more time. It depends on what position it is in. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too much over to the right. And also, it's been a while, but Donkey Kong is actually right by me this time. But of course, he's not going to win. Let's be honest with ourselves. Now we're on to the Boomerang Cup, and this one starts out with Bangkok Rush. And for this first one, we go through this section with all these boats, this water area. Really cool section. I don't know, something about it, I just really enjoy it. Now, there are some really annoying turns that you have to do, like making it through here. I wanted to get a boost there. Unfortunately, didn't get it. But here is pretty much just a huge straightaway path. I'm surprised there's no traffic in this stage. Like, Nintendo loves adding traffic to these stages. Why not this one? Also, I'm not really going to complain. We get a bomb there. I was kind of scared that that bomb was going to blow me out. But now we're going through the city. Tons of people cheering us on. And then we get this really fun glider section where we go through all these buildings and stuff. Love that place. Now, there's a red shell behind me. I thankfully have my green shell. There's some crabs on the street for some reason. I don't know how those got there. And we will get Squidward inks right there. Pretty okay Squidward ink plates because there's not too much I have to do besides almost getting hit by. This part's also really fun, going up the parking structure. I don't know what the purpose of that parking structure is. Like, that's a crazy parking structure to have. There's barely any parking spots. But we're coming through to the end. I think this should be the last couple of turns. Boo, you're literally taking nothing from me. I don't care. And that's that one. So next up is DS Mario Circuit. And how many Mario Circuits have we done in just this speedrun? It's kind of insane how many of these tracks there are. But this one's kind of fun because you got the Piranha Plants that are shooting fire. I really like the animation they do where they like open their mouths and then spit it out. It's kind of cute. But I mean, it's a Mario Circuit track. So the only thing we're really worried about is trying to get a couple of these coins as long as we can. We do a pretty tight turn right there. Then we do a less tight turn right there. And that's pretty much the entire track.
track. I kind of wish they added a little bit less of these Mario Circuit tracks and just gave us more original ones, but I mean, just because of those piranha plants, I'm kind of okay with that. They're just so cute how they're spitting out the fire. It can be really annoying. It's easy to get hit by the fire, but at least it didn't happen this time. And of course, we're going to get lightninged right there, but not the worst spot for it to happen. I would like if I had some items, but we won't actually get them for a little bit. And I do wish I had a bit more coins right now. I should have focused on getting more earlier in the run, but that's actually going to be a coin there. So as soon as I get an item block, I can use it. That's going to get us up to 9 and also get us a green shell, which is pretty good. And I should be good to go with the win. I actually see DK behind me for once. Like, he's actually doing better. You know, he's in 4th place right now, but maybe he's going to get back up. There is the blue shell, though. If I didn't have that driving there, I would have completely skipped that blue shell, so that's a little sad. But we still take home the win. And dang, Donkey Kong is now in 3rd place. Maybe he's coming for the comeback. Now up next is going to be GameCube Waluigi Stadium. And you already know, Double Dash stage, I really enjoy it. You have to be very careful about the tricks for this stage, though, because they can very easily get you in the corners that you don't want. So instead of doing tricks for a lot of
always
these
like
jumps,
this when
I'm
you're
just gonna go
grinding.
directly into a drift in the direction I need to go. Now, the
When
sad
you
thing
want
about this
something,
track
it
compared to
never
the one on
shows up.
GameCube is I remember you could get so many boosts off of the side of this track, and now you can only get like 2, which is a little sad. Like, I have very specific memories of getting like 10 boosts off of that place, and it was insane. I guess the physics are different than in the GameCube, so it makes sense why it's not there, but I do kind of miss it. But here, we don't want to take any of these boosts. We don't want to do any tricks here. Instead, we just want to charge up our drift, use that first one, then charge up a second one, and then we have the lackluster way of going up these. It just used to be so much fun to go up multiple, and I actually didn't know that could happen. So I played that a little differently than I usually do. Usually I do another jump into those tires, but we were a little later on the map than I wanted to be, and I didn't know if you went slow enough, you didn't just boost through those tires. But that's fine. We also have the horn, so if there are any blue shells, I should be completely fine, prepared for that stuff. I really wish it would give me the combo of a horn and then like a green shell instead of the horn then a coin. Game, I can promise you I really don't need coins. I mean, they're not the worst thing, but Abu really took that from me. Okay, that's fine. We can go through there. And this should be an easy win. I don't think there's any time for any blue shells for this track. At least there shouldn't be. I don't see any on the map, so we should be good to go to the end, do that final little fire jump, and there we go. That's that one done. Now, the sad thing about the Boomerang Cup is for some reason, Nintendo decided to put 2 tour tracks in this single cup. Usually, they only put 1 tour track in the cup. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, especially because this is a fun race. But I mean, there are other games too, and so many of the slots are already filled up with tour slots. There needs to be 1 for at least each cup. So they probably could have done something else with this spot. But I do like this stage. I mean, you got the soccer stadium right there, which is always fun to see. And it does have some good music, so I'm not going to complain too much. I do like going through this market and stuff, though. There are a couple coins that we can't get if I'm not bad. And then for this final lap, it's actually really fun. Because what we'll do is go through there, we can get a couple of tricks, and then that's going to be the lap 3. And then we get onto this section, which we have these fast platforms. We'll actually take the green platform because it is going to give us a pretty noticeable speed up. I also do see a blue shell coming in at the end. There's going to be this red shell, which I will stop because it wasn't close enough to the blue shell, and that is really unlucky timing. What? Lakitu, what was that? The dude just took me backwards and then forwards. Pick a direction, dude. You're supposed to be a professional referee. What was that? He was cheating for his brother. Did you see that? His brother just got ahead of me. Okay, I don't know about that one. I think we have to have some sort of investigation into that because he was definitely trying to get the other Lakitu to win. I'm just saying. Still, I do completely destroy those guys. Even with their cheating ways, we're able to take home the win. Now we got to the Feather Cup. And to start, we have Athens Dash, which this might be my favorite tour track. I just really love the place. And I also really love it's not a city track. Instead, they actually do something a little different with it. But the start, not my greatest start. Didn't get the most amount of boost right there, but we should be able to get a drift there. Hopefully I get something to protect me for the red shell, but of course I don't. And we'll come through here, Donkey Kong. Come on. You know, I was just talking about how, like, Donkey Kong's doing better, and I was kind of hoping for him to get back up to 2nd place. But at this point, I do not hope that at all. Donkey Kong, I hope you lose. I saw you got hit by an item. It's what you deserve, man. It's just such a beautiful track. It works out so well going through all these ruins and stuff. Then right here, what I want to do is start taking a right turn. There are going to be a couple of these paths. You can actually do tricks off of them. Almost got a terrible angle right there. But somehow I was able to just barely make it through. And I do have this mushroom. I don't know really the best time to use it, and I do want a protection item, so I'll use it right there. That way we can get a green shell. And of course, there will be a Squidward here. Kind of a bad spot to have him, but this part isn't the worst in the world. I just have to watch out for the boulders, make sure none of those hit me. That was a little too close for comfort. And finally, to finish out this map, we just come through here, do a couple of those, get hit by a lightning, which completely messes up my path. But that's fine, because we're still able to take home the win, and in a pretty quick fashion. And here it is, easily one of the best Double Dash tracks. I know people are probably a little tired of this track, but come on. Daisy's Cruiser on the GameCube is so good. It's just such a fun track. I guess I just love the cruise ship vibe that it has. That just makes it even better. But you go through here, and what we want to do is not take that underwater path. I almost accidentally went up there, but we want to take this path because it is going to be faster. I didn't do that in the greatest way possible, to be honest, but if I do it a little bit better, we go a lot faster. I also really like taking this left path on this section. That way, it's an easier way to boost. Then we can get a trick right there, do our grind directly into that, which I don't even know how that got stopped. But we go into the dining hall, which, by the way, whoever made this cruise ship,
it would be
you are
better if
not
I just
good
made a
at designing
four-wheel.
things, because those
By this
tables
point-
move around all the time with how the cruise ship moves, and it is definitely not safe. I'm surprised none of these passengers have died yet, but I guess they're also watching people race on their cruise ship. So imagine someone's just really tired, they just finished up lunch, and then they get hit by one of these cars. That might happen as well. I mean, it's the experience you're paying for, what can you say? But look at these tables, they're literally moving right now. It makes no sense who signed off on this. But that looks like it is going to be better, and that's exactly what we want. I would prefer if I could have done that every single time, but you can't really get everything perfect.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go make a four-wheel.
GameCube track into a Wii track.
I'm pretty sure
I
four-wheel
really do
needs
love
better
that.
handling.
Now, I actually would have preferred if we got the GameCube track for this one. Mushroom City, the track and its music are so good. Still, though, this is a good track. I mean, it does have cars, but I would say more so than pretty much any of the other car tracks, they're not very impactful. I also love the bomb cars. Those were always fun, like trying to knock people into and then they get exploded. But you will see on this second lap, what I'm going to do is actually go up this cliff and do a trick. I didn't do that for the first track because usually there's going to be a truck right there, and the truck's just in the perfect position to be slightly too annoying to try to do that. Then we can get a couple of these boosts. I have a pretty good item pool right now, and as soon as I say that, of course, Boo is going to come through. And then, of course, there's also going to be a red shell. And I get hit by a car, but I'm pretty sure then the car hit the red shell, so at least we were safe from that. Now I will try to do this jump one more time. Okay, there's that car right there. Kind of unlucky, but that is fine, except another car. So, you know, I was just getting done saying how not bad the cars are in this stage, and of course I get hit by multiple of them. But still, it's not really that bad in this stage, just because the paths aren't that skinny and there aren't that many turns, so they don't really mess you up too bad, even if you do get hit by them. Anyways, making it over to the end, we'll take an item box. I was kind of hoping we get something good right there. Didn't have enough time, but that'll be our win. Now on to Squeaky Clean Sprint, and this is one of my favorite DLC courses, and I also got a burnout. I should have known it was going to happen at least for one of these races. I was not expecting that one. Basically, what happens there is what you're supposed to do is start holding A right when the 2 stops moving so that you can get the perfect boost, and if you do it any time before that, you'll still get kind of a tiny boost. I did it slightly too early, so that caused a burnout. Now, what I'm going to do here as well is be right for that item box. I want to aim for that item box, which is going to give us the perfect angle to be able to make it on this top part. I didn't even know about this top part for the longest time, just because it's hard to get to. And if you go more to the right or anything like that, you're just not going to get it. So you do have to pay attention to that. Now there's going to be a red shell. Maybe it gets destroyed by something. I don't know. Or, oh, I almost had the green shell. And I see a blue shell coming as well. A lot of things trying to murder me. I'm just trying to do my trick, man. This by far on 200cc is the best way to do this map, because if you don't take this direction, then it's really hard to make that turn, and a lot of the times I've actually died there just because I tried to make it. But if you take the top path, not only is it faster, but it's also going to give you a huge jump. We can get another trick off of there, and it just works out perfectly. So now for the last one, we'll try to get a jump off of those bath bombs, which is something I forgot to mention. You can get a jump off the bath bombs as well, which is a nice little feature. It's always nice to get an extra trick in places that aren't just your conventional jump, but we'll see if I can get this one more time. By the way, I am up moving slightly to the right near the end. That way we do actually get onto the platform, but it's a pretty easy jump once you actually know what to do. Just thought I'd explain it since I didn't know about it for the longest time. So now it's time for Los Angeles Labs, and this is a pretty fun stage, mostly because the music's really good, and I really like the environment. I mean, you got the beaches, you got a construction area that we're going to make it to later. It's just a cool environment altogether, even if it is another tour track, and it's another one through a city. But what I want to do at the beginning is pretty much just keep my speed not too difficult at the beginning, but it definitely gets harder in the later parts of the track. You'll see we make it over to lap 2. And another thing I really like about this track is Mario Baseball. Okay, Nintendo, we need a new Super Sluggers game. Hopefully people are watching this like a year from now and they're like, yes, we finally got it. We finally got the next Mario Baseball. We've had all the sports. It's time for baseball. I used to love playing that game. But we'll make it through here. We do get a blue shell. Kind of the perfect place for it to happen, though, because it was right by a boost pad, which means we'll keep up our speed right away. And what we want to do here is take the left path. You can go through that, and it's a much faster path than going all the way around, so that's nice. But then, okay, yep, it was gonna happen. I tried to use my bomb there, got hit by a red shell. I knew it would happen. At least I should be able to beat these guys. We are gonna make it through this construction area. I'll get a couple of coins, also get the double item block, and then finally, right at the end, what we're gonna end off with is this pier section. So we just have a nice straightaway going to the end. And that's going to be another tour track done. Now time for another one of these amazing tracks, because this one is going to be GBA Sunset Wilds. And the great thing about this track is it has Shy Guys and they dance. That's pretty much the reason I love this so much. It's not the most interesting track compared to a lot of the other ones, but once we make it to the section, look at these guys. They're literally working and dancing all together. It's adorable. I just love this track so much. It's so fun, man. They're just having a good time. Now, it is sad. I remember I did hear complaints about basically the sun doesn't go down, even though it's called Sunset Wilds, which is kind of sad. Now, right here, what I want to do is actually do a drift into that boost. I kind of messed it up right there. Still fine. We have something to protect ourselves. These guys are just having a great time doing their work. I love them. Then we got this turn. I see DK behind me. He is really trying to make up, get his second place. DK, I think he accepts at this point. He's not going to get first place. I'm pretty sure it's actually impossible. Unless I got, like, last place on every single race. So we come to the end. You know, the song even gets better when it starts going faster. Sounds so good. These guys are dancing so fast. Look at them go. Oh my gosh. I know, I'm just too much of a fan of Shy Guys. But we can make it to the end. Unfortunately, it looks like DK kind of got boosted to the back. I'm pretty sure that's a 4th place for him. He's still in 3rd. He could take 2nd place. It is possible. Especially since we are now officially on the final 10 tracks of this speedrun.
Really
this
bad.
one, of course, going to be
For Parts and Sled.
Now, this is a track everybody knows about, Koopa Cave. It's an amazing track, and it also has great music. And it also is a really good track for doing 200cc. Right there, what I want to do, not take that jump. Instead, I go into a drift. That way I can get the correct angle. And this one is really just all about controlling your drift. Especially once you get into this section, we want to make sure we slow down just a little bit. That way we don't go and take a jump or anything like that. We can get a nice boost. And then right here, I am going to start my drift before we even get out there. That way, right away, I can use it right there and get a nice speed boost. We also somehow got a mushroom. I don't even know how we got that, but I will take it. We get a horn, which is really good. I would like it if I could take out another blue shell. I mean, actually, I probably shouldn't say that, because definitely what's going to happen now is there's going to be a red shell that hits me, so I have to use the horn, and then there's going to be a blue shell right after that. So you know what? Just don't give me a blue shell at all. But into here, this will be nice. We get rid of that, take a nice tight turn. I will say it probably was better on the Wii. I do like this stage better when it was on the Wii, but it's still pretty good at Mario Kart 8. You can't complain too much. And somehow I am keeping my horn right now, which is cool. I mean, I don't need it, but yes, there's the blue shell. Let's go. I didn't want to use it for its intended purposes, and then we get a red shell right after, so it barely even matters. Oh, game, it's always the cruel fate for me, isn't it? I mean, at least we got to take out the blue shell. That's got to count for something. And then there's another red shell. Donkey Kong is coming after me right now. He goes, I need this first if I'm going to get 2nd place, but there was lightning, so that stops him dead in his tracks. I'm pretty sure he might have overtaken me if it wasn't for that. But is Donkey Kong going to lose to Kamek? No, I don't think so. Oh my gosh, who got 2nd place right there? This is exciting. and Kamek was able to barely edge it out. Terrible day for Donkey Kong fans. Now for this race, unfortunately, another tour track. The Cherry Cup is another cup where it gives us 2 tour tracks in the same cup for some reason, but I don't really complain about this one because it's Vancouver. This track's name is Vancouver Velocity, and I really like this track because it has hockey. I enjoy hockey. I think it's a fun game to play and watch, and it's also a really fun game when you're playing in video games. Like if you ever played Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games and played that hockey minigame, I love that hockey minigame. We need another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Now I'm just kind of turning this video into my request for video games, but Nintendo, come on, you can do it. Anyways, we're gonna make it over to this section, which is a pretty easy turn, and surprisingly, we have another horn. When there's another blue show, I'm actually getting insane luck lately. I mean, I say that and then something bad happens right after, but we will be able to use this horn to stop the blue show as soon as we make it into the hockey stadium. This place is just really cool to see. I love seeing it. Then I want to make a tight turn right there. I'll use that, and of course, why would there not be just the blue shell? Why would there not be a red shell right after it? Okay, now we can make it into this tunnel. There's a couple bats. Those guys almost hit me. That was very close. But we get to go through the city. And Vancouver's just a cool place, man. Then we get the hockey arena. This part is a little bit harder since you have to go straight instead of to the left. So you have to be a little bit more careful about that. But that will go directly into turning to the left. I get electrocuted. And right here, we're coming over to the end. This looks like a pretty easy win for me. Not a good time for Donkey Kong. I'm pretty sure that was a 5th place finish. Yeah, man, it's looking less and less likely for you. And now onto the Acorn Cup. We're going to have
an idea.
Rome Avanti, which again, tour track that I do like, especially because just in this last year, I actually visited Rome, and it's a really cool place. But right at the start, we want to go through the Coliseum, get a couple of boosts, then go into this area. I like the nice nighttime feel that this has to it, but this one is really just about memorizing the entire track. But you can really say that about a lot of these tracks. One of the easiest ways to get better at this game is just play the tracks. You don't even have to learn the skips or anything like that. If you just know where every direction is, what the best path you might have to take is, then you're going to be so much better than a lot of the people who play it. Especially for these tour tracks, because they are really confusing, especially the first time that you're playing them. So yeah, watch out for that. Anyways, we will take the left path right here, which puts us into this nice garden area. We can get a couple of boosts. I feel like I've seen that garden area before. They might have reused it and just slightly changed the colors. But then I also go off into the distance. Not the best thing that happened. Surprisingly, nobody got ahead of me there. And for the final part, this is actually one of my favorite parts since you have the chain shot. Now this is kind of a jump scare warning. Honestly, I've been jump scared by these chain shots before, but look, they just come out at you, make loud noises. It's kind of scary. I'm just going to warn you just in case. But other than those chain jumps, that should be all the hard parts. We just have to make it through here. There is going to be a red shell, which I can get through, and we make it over to the end. That's an easy win. Donkey Kong, where even are you? I didn't even see him on the map. 9th place, dude. No. This really is not a good day for Donkey Kong fans, but it's okay. We are now on GameCube DK Mountain, so if there was any map that Donkey Kong could get a 2nd place, it's probably this one. He just has to play out of his mind. Kamek does not want him to have the 2nd place, and you know what? I'm back to cheering for him. I like Donkey Kong more than I like Kamek, but you already know GameCube track. I love it. I just love everything about it. What we're going to want to do here is get a trick there, do another one, and then do that directly into a drift. That way, as soon as we touch the ground, we can go the right direction, and we have a super cool trick that we're going to do here. What we want to do is very much slow down while we're getting these boosts, and then we do one right into there, which the red shell kind of ruined. You know what? I'm still going to go for it. It didn't work. But it would have been cool if I get hit by another red shell, but at least it was my Donkey Kong. You know, I'm cheering for you, dude. So I probably won't show it correctly the next time. That was a little bit funny, that entire sequence of events. But yeah, we come through here. I love going through the cannon and seeing that mountain with his angry face. It's beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and get a double item box. Hopefully we'll actually have protection for once in my life. But no, it can't even give me a bomb as protection. It's going to electrocute me. Please, game. Kamek is just trying to get the win as much as possible. We're actually going to do the trick here. What we want to do is have a very tight turn. We can get a boost directly onto that, and it's such a cool trick. I love doing that one. I don't know if it's possible on 150cc without a mushroom. I assume it would be if you do it correctly, but on 200cc, it's pretty easy as long as you have a lot of control. You really have to hold the brake button for that one, and you can get it done. All right, I still see Donkey Kong in 2nd place. I mean, this is literally his map. If he doesn't win here, then that would be, you know, a little bit embarrassing, but we'll see what happens. I gotta more focus on myself, and we'll see if I can do this one perfectly this time without without being tiny, without having to worry about anything. Really slow down, you go for the jump, saves a ton of time. It's a great skip. Definitely recommend learning that one for this map, especially because this map is so good. And who is going to get the second place? I think that's a DK victory. Let's go, DK. It might be impossible for you to win, but at least you're taking some of these tracks. At this point, DK absolutely needs not only for himself to do well, but for Kamek to do terrible. He needs Kamek to get like a last place somehow, which I don't even know if it's possible. Anyways, now we're on to Wheat Daisy Circuit. Again, GameCube track and the Wii track, you already know it's amazing. And I mean, it's a Daisy map. I also enjoy seeing those. But what we're going to do right at the start is just try to get a couple of those mini turbos doing some drifting. We can do one of our tricks right there. And I will go for the double item box. Missed it. A little embarrassing. But yeah, pretty simple track. It is a circuit track, so not much you can say. But I mean, it's Daisy, so that makes it pretty cool, right? The important thing here is to just get as many boosts as possible. I kind of messed up that second
This
boost,
should
so
work.
I'm going to take the left path instead of going to the
It
right
should
again.
still
Then
be
we go
plenty
through
mobile.
here, the highway section. We'll get a nice jump. I want to get an item block there. Thank you very much. Never mind. No thank you, because you hit me with a lightning, so I no longer have my items. But Donkey Kong, I'm seeing him, but Donkey Kong is trying his best. Namek is going to do everything in their power to not let Donkey Kong win, but I'm believing in him, man. It almost makes me want to give him first place just so he has an even better chance, but also, we are way too big of rivals for me to do that, so sorry, Donkey Kong, I'm not going to help you out that much. And yeah, now, as soon as I say stuff, Kamek is back in second place. What are you going to do? We're just going to make it to the end. I have no time to wait for you. I think at least he came home with a third place, so not the worst, but that is a big deficit he has to make up. Now we have Piranha Plant Cove. Love this stage. And this also means we are on the final 5 stages of this video. So if you are watching this far,
I
I
mean,
just
that's
have to
still
say
pretty
thank
good.
you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've been enjoying the video. It's been a lot of learning to get these races done. Glad at least it seems like you're enjoying the video. And by the way, one thing I do want
I'm
to
not gonna
mention
get rid
is
of this
always
just
do
yet,
remember
just in
you
case it
are
turns out
loved.
I
You
don't
make the
like
people
this.
around you happier. Keep going no matter what you're going through. It will get better. I believe in you. Anyways, that is going to be the first lap done. We will go through the ocean again. I can get a couple of tricks off of there. You're just trying to get as many tricks
Small
as
wheels
possible in
don't
this
do
section.
very well
that's pretty
on
much the entire game
sand.
of Mario Kart. Except, I guess it's not really on 200cc. I have mentioned before that a lot of the times you don't.
Yeah, 4 wheels is so much better. Oh my. No. Come on, I just want to find the keys. This is how you give people collector's anxiety, you know? Whoa, look how powerful this is. Plus 10 attack, damn. I'll try going down in the depths. Maybe I'll find keys there. But first, may as well do this shrine.
To do these treks, but here, because we have a lot of straight paths and there's not too many turns, it's worth it to do them. Then we have these guys, which I am very scared of them hitting me, but we got it done. And this should lead us to the last lap, where we're actually going to the left. So this is going to be a completely new lap. I always love when they do this stuff. And what we want to do is just go through. We see that clam right there. You can get the items for the clams. It's not really worth it, especially because I got the banana coin combo. Some might say the deadliest combo in the game. Those some would be wrong, but, you know, they might say it. Anyways, we come through to the end. We just have to do a couple of turns that I mess up on, and I don't think Donkey Kong is doing the best right now. He's trying his best, but yeah, that's another third place. Anyone who's a Donkey Kong fan right now, you gotta put your hands up for a Spirit Bomb. But now it is time for our very last cup, the Spiny Cup, and this is also our very last Mario Kart Tour track, which is going to be Madrid Drive, and they end off Mario Kart Tour tracks with a bang. Honestly, this entire cup is amazing. I love it so much. Maybe my favorite cup in the game, and that's also a funny thing, because there's only one Wii stage, and there are no GameCube stages. This cup is just so good. It has so many heavy hitters, and this one's just amazing altogether. Probably one of the best tour tracks. Not the best, but it's definitely up there. So what we're doing as we make it over to lap 2, I'm going to make sure I get a couple of these coins. I'm trying to go for an item block because we already got the banana. I would like something else for protection, but no, of course it's a coin. And what you want to do here, do not get a trick. Instead, you want to go straight into the drift, as you saw for the first lap as well. That way you have enough control and you're good to go. Then we have a banana, thankfully. Boo did not take everything I had. You know, that's always nice. Thank you, Boo, for not being the worst person in the world. There will be a blue shell here, not preferred. Maybe I can outrun it, at least for a little bit. Maybe I get a horn and we're able to save ourselves. No, we get lightning. And then we get a blue shell and a red shell, because when it rains, it pours. But still way out in front, so I can't really complain. We just have to do these final couple of turns. This time, it's going to make us take more of a left path than we ever have before. There's going to be these Goombas that are walking through the street, and we get a Squidward. Not the worst place, but I like this part because now we're in the soccer stadium, and there are all these soccer balls, which very easily could kill me. But no, instead, it's a red shell, and the second red shell that do it instead. And Lakitu is somehow in second. I think because he got a bullet bill, that is kind of cheating, but at least we still keep our first. I would have been so mad if he took that from me. Then for the second track of this powerhouse of a cup, we have 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, and yeah, this stage, amazing stage. You already know, I've said it so many times, it is a winter stage, it's got all the ice, but it's also the music, it's also the environment, it's the Super Mario Galaxy stuff you see in the background, just all together, this makes an amazing track. Now, what I was trying to do right there was not get put into the water. That didn't really work. But then right here, I'm not actually going to take the right path, because a lot of times it's easy to mess up, especially if you get hit by an item, and it's really not that much faster. Now we're coming through here, we can get a couple of boosts. That is going to be lap number 1. And this part is really the hardest part, because you want to make sure you don't go too much on the wall, otherwise your camera gets extremely messed up, and it can make things very bad. So I try to control my camera as much as possible, and this time we're actually going to try to stay on the top. I don't know where these penguins are. They're a little bit scary, but we can make it through that second time. I do see that a blue shell is coming up. Not too much we can do about that, and there is also going to be a red shell, but the red shell hits me into the blue shell, so I actually kind of appreciate that. And now we'll go through here. Can't think that was a terrible jump. I don't even know why you attempted that. And one more time, we'll hope that we can maintain our drift pretty good. This time, at least there are bananas in the track. That was a little annoying. And it's really hard because after you get the big drift right there, you also don't want to run into the wall and then do one of those jumps. So I have to control myself extremely well to make it through that. But final part of the track, there's going to be a red shell. Please let me get my banana. There were so many things that we're worrying about at once. But also Squidward comes out. It doesn't even matter. It looks like Donkey Kong is not going to take second place though. So another sad day for him. But here we go. It is time for SNES Bowser's Castle. Castle 3. This is such an amazing stage. I love it so much. First of all, the entire environment, all the lava going through, and then it's just a really fun track. It's not the most complicated thing in the world, but you can play it extremely fast if you play it well. It just all together, it makes for a great track. I love it. I'm glad they added another Bowser Castle into the game, because Bowser's Castle tracks are also some of the best. I don't know why they didn't add more. We make it through, we're way ahead of everybody else, and Kamek is also way ahead in second, so we'll hope that Donkey Kong can somehow come back. Maybe Donkey Kong just has to go for a bullet bill or something at this point. Bullet bills in this game have been overpowered. Like, some people have been able to get some really good places just because they're bullet bill luck. The best thing about this track is you just go fast. It just feels good. It doesn't have all the complicated skips. It doesn't have all the things that you can do. It doesn't have a changing track. It's the same track all 3 laps. But it's just such a good track to play, and it just feels so good. I don't know. I cannot compliment it enough. I know I've been complimenting a lot of these tracks in this game, but that's just because I enjoy Mario Kart. It definitely was a game that I grew up with, so it makes sense. Now we'll come through to the end. We have 10 coins, so we don't have to worry about that. We actually get the perfect mushroom right there. I really appreciate that.
How do I
And
get
that's
there?
going to end off that track. Oh, and Donkey Kong actually got a first. It's not going to help him that much, but good for you, Donkey Kong. And to finally finish out this monster of a speedrun, we have what I believe to be the greatest Mario Kart track of all time, Wii Rainbow Road. I absolutely love Rainbow Road. It's a really hard track, but once you know how to do it, it definitely is one of the coolest tracks in the game. There's a really cool ultra shortcut on the original Wii version as well that just makes it cool. There are so many good things about this track. I did kind of mess up my jumps right there. I probably won't take that risk again, because I'm not trying to fall off. Childhood me would be very upset if I fell off. It is 200cc, so it is a little scary, but a cool thing about this is you can go into a drift right there, another drift right there, and you can control all of your momentum. Now, this drift is a little hard because we want to release our boost a little bit early to make sure we get the perfect timing, and we're good to go for lap 1. So much about this track just comes together, and it just makes it perfect. The music, the colors, all the different tricks and all the tight turns you have to do, all the ways you can die. It's actually insane how it took them so long to make this track and put it into the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But I guess it's fair you want to end off with the biggest bang you can, because everybody's going to want to play this track. It's not looking too good for Donkey Kong right now. Just in my quick looks over, I do not see him anywhere. I do wish they didn't have all the railings on this track. I feel like that would have made this even more fun. Oh, by the way, when I said this is the best Mario Kart track, I did mean the Wii version. This version is good as well, but the Wii version, top tier. But now we will grab a couple of these. We have a coin and a banana, so we should be completely protected from anything. We can make this final boost, and there we go. That is time 3:21:38, which is going to give us 19th place on speedrun.com, and I'm pretty proud of that. Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.
You've seen tone indicators, right? You know, that thing where there's a slash, then a 1 to 3 letter abbreviation at the end of a sentence that's supposed to help you interpret what it means. The most popular ones are /J for joking and /S for sarcasm. They're used for information that normally would be indicated using intonation, but can be hard to get across through text alone. Tone indicators have been around for decades, but they've really exploded in popularity over the past few years. Today, there are dozens of tone indicators, often compiled in these well-intentioned lists that get passed around online periodically. People make fun of these extensive lists a lot for including various things that are almost never used in practice, and that's not what I'm interested in doing here. Tone indicators are nominally an accessibility tool, and while their implementation is somewhat misguided, they are theoretically useful for the most part. Like, I'm autistic. I'm generally having a slightly harder time than average at figuring out what people mean by things. I am the target audience for tone indicators. It is, if done correctly, a good thing when people go out of their way to consider it and spend extra effort clarifying it. My complaints, for the most part, are focused on one very specific tone indicator that's like actively bad and / purpose. It's not one of those rare ones people like to make fun of. It's one that people actually use somewhat frequently. I'm not easily, and the /HJ tone indicator is worse than useless. HJ stands for half joke. It's used when a statement is a joke, but not really. What exactly this means depends on so many factors that it completely fails in the one thing the tone indicator is allegedly supposed to do. It's just inherently ambiguous. But in order to explain why, I'll need to first explain how tone indicators work when they're functioning as intended. The oldest and most popular tone indicator is /S, sarcasm. This notation isn't like super intuitive, given that sarcastic and serious begin with the same letter, but aside from that, I think it's the most useful and practical tone indicator. Figuring out when people are being sarcastic through text is hard, even for neurotypical people, I'm told. And that's a big problem, because if someone's being sarcastic, that drastically changes how you're supposed to interpret what they mean, right? If someone says something like, say, "that's great," sarcastically, it pretty much means the opposite of what it would mean if they said it sincerely. When someone's speaking out loud, figuring out if they're sarcastic requires analyzing the context and their tone of voice, and having a decent mental model of what the specific person's beliefs are. Like, you gotta think, does this make sense for this person to say sincerely? And if they were to say this sincerely, is this the way they would say it? Or maybe this stuff just comes naturally to you and you don't need it. The point is, when communicating entirely through text, you lose a lot of the important information that's usually necessary to infer if someone's being sarcastic or not. And if you're communicating through text with strangers on the internet, you also don't have a good understanding of the specific person's beliefs. And that's what /S is for, or any of the other sarcasm indicators that predate it. It's a way of linking back in. It's saying, explicitly, I'm being sarcastic, so you shouldn't interpret this literally.
Oh my god.
I'm being sarcastic, so you shouldn't interpret this literally. Now, is /S the best way to do this? It's arguable. It's certainly the most convenient option from the perspective of being sarcastic, but communication generally involves more than one person. To someone who doesn't already know what the S stands for, this doesn't mean anything. There's a non-trivial step involved where you need to learn the system before it's helpful for you, and the more of these abbreviations coexist, the more effort it takes to learn what they all mean. But that said, to me personally, the hard part of understanding sarcasm is always figuring out if someone's being sarcastic or not. Being told directly that something is sarcastic, even through somewhat cryptic means, generally skips most of the work of interpreting what someone is trying to say. /S communicates, I do not believe this. I am saying this because I think that contextually it would be funny if I did literally believe this. And that's like actually helpful information, which normally would be difficult to infer through text alone. This is the ideal use case of a tone indicator. This is, theoretically, what they are for. Another popular one is /J, which I also think is relatively useful as a tone indicator for the same reasons. Joking is a much broader idea than sarcasm, but it's still very common for, I'm saying this as a joke, to be a useful thing to clarify a statement. And there's an important thing I'd like to emphasize about these two tone indicators in particular. The thing they're communicating, sarcasm and joking, are both things that I have an understanding of, because I needed to develop an understanding of those things in order to communicate with people. Those are just required skills to have. It's the same thing with like how emoticons and emoji correspond to facial expressions and gesture, right? I've already spent my whole life learning by brute force what those things mean, so when a slightly altered version of those things appears online through text, I'm able to repurpose those skills to help me understand what these new things mean. Like, none of this stuff comes naturally to me, it still takes conscious mental effort, but it's all stuff I already had to learn how to do. The majority of tone indicators do not work like this. Most of them are things like /NBH for nobody here. It's supposed to be used when you're like complaining about someone but want to clarify that the person you're talking about isn't any of the people you're currently talking to. This is not a tone of voice. This tone indicator is not indicating tone. There isn't a corresponding thing people do when speaking out loud that I can interpret this as. It's purely there to disambiguate. This one happens to be, once it's explained to you what the abbreviation means, relatively straightforward, but it demonstrates that, broadly speaking, the purpose of these tone indicators is not to indicate tone, it's to clarify intent. They're like one layer of abstraction removed from genuinely indicating tone, and because of that, they follow their own rules that need to be learned separately. And again, it's on paper a good thing that some people want to be considerate and make the effort to communicate less ambiguously. If this system works, it's a good, albeit flawed, idea. And I think that's enough context for now.
Out of the way, bozo.
/HJ. HJ, half joking, is currently one of the most popular tone indicators. Anecdotally speaking, most of the time when I've seen people make short lists of the tone indicators they find the most useful, /HJ usually makes it to the top 5. Unfortunately, half joking doesn't mean anything. This statement is partially, but not completely, a joke. It does not give me any information about what is meant by it or how I should interpret it. And I'll concede, for most people, this isn't a problem. As I've learned from many conversations on this topic, this isn't even universally a problem for all autistic people. Most people can see a statement with the extra clarification, I'm half joking about. I guess they just intuitively know what that's supposed to mean. However, in my personal experience, whenever I've seen /HJ in practice, it always takes me extra effort to figure out what the person meant by it. Sometimes it takes me a few seconds, sometimes I need to think about it for a couple minutes, and in some cases I just never figure it out. The specific problem I have is that while half-joking tells me that some aspect of the statement is meant as a joke, it's my responsibility, as the person being spoken to figure out exactly which part is the joke. It's just inherently ambiguous. That's what I mean by worse than useless. When it's used, it makes statements harder for me to interpret than they otherwise would, which is the opposite of what tone indicators are for. And quick side note, in practice, whenever I ask people which half of a half joke is the joke, they usually tell me that I can misunderstand what half joking is supposed to mean. Half joking just means it's somewhere between serious and joking. It doesn't literally one part is serious and another part is not. And this clarification is frustrating because it's avoiding answering my question. Like, from my perspective, just trying to figure out how to complete their statement, somewhere between serious and joking means the same thing as partially but not joking.
Okay, that doesn't work.
That interpreting it as serious is wrong, and that interpreting it as a joke is also wrong, and that's just unhelpful. So, from my years of experience of like asking people what they mean by things, then asking people what they mean by saying they're half joking, then asking what they mean by their descriptions of what half joking means, I've been able to narrow down /HJ into 3 main definitions. And I'd like to stress that 1, these definitions are all commonly used, and 2, these definitions are mutually exclusive. All 3 of them apply to different things, both in terms of intent and in terms of how I'm supposed to interpret things. The first definition, which I think is the most common way half-joking is used, is that the statement itself is a joke, but the underlying sentiment is true. The literal text is not serious, but the idea is serious. People sometimes explain this as, it's a joke, but there's some truth to it. A use case for this would be something like, this cat video is the greatest work of cinema of the past century, /HJ. The literal text is not serious. They don't think the video is that good, but the idea it communicates is serious. They still enjoyed the video. It's non-literal, but it's sincere. The second way half-joking is used is when the statement itself is literally true, but it's being said as a joke. The literal text is serious, but the idea it communicates is not. A use case for the second definition would be something like, this cat video is the greatest work of cinema of the past century, /HJ. The literal text is serious. They are genuinely unaware of any film from the past 100 years that they enjoy more than this cat video, but the idea it communicates is not. They recognize that this is a funny opinion for someone to have. It's literal, but it's a joke. And like, these two things, they're different. Like, yeah, they're both expressing a positive opinion, but other than that, for the first one, the statement itself isn't meant to be interpreted literally, and the positive opinion isn't meant to be funny. But for the second one, the statement itself is meant to be interpreted literally, and the positive opinion is meant to be funny. Like, these are mutually exclusive. Am I supposed to... Or is it an exaggeration? Am I expected to find the opinion being expressed funny or not? The coexistence of these two common definitions means that /HJ on its own gives contradictory answers to both of these questions. The other primary meaning of half-joking is a little harder to explain, but the idea is that it's using this ambiguity
on purpose. Like, someone who's aware that /HJ means multiple things can use it to be non-committal about something. They don't want people to know what they mean by it, or they themselves haven't decided what they mean by it, and they're waiting to see how people respond first. So an example of when this might be used in practice might be, this cat video is the greatest work of cinema of the past century, /HJ. Maybe they genuinely love this cat video, maybe they only like it a little bit, maybe they actually think it's a pretty bad video and are saying this completely as a joke, or maybe they have no strong feelings about this video at all, and just want to see what other people think about it. I have mixed feelings about this third use. On one hand, this is really
What the
obvious
hell did I stumble
a
into?
tone indicator to mean, right? If tone indicators are an accessibility feature that exists to help people understand what's intended by things, then this achieves the opposite of that. It's deliberately making things unclear. It's not disambiguating, it's ambiguating. On the other hand, yeah, that's the point. They're not trying to clarify what they mean and failing, they're successfully making things less clear. If anything, this is the best possible thing to use /HJ for. This tone indicator is confusing, so if you use it with the intent of confusing people, you're using it correctly. However, this is the least common of the three meanings, and it only exists because of the ambiguity. And even if you, for some reason, don't agree with me that the first two meanings are significantly different, the existence of this intentionally ambiguous meaning, which I'll emphasize again, is a real way people use it in practice. This alone means that using /HJ in the same way as the other tone indicators like /S is unhelpful. Oh, also, if you're a /HJ user and you're thinking, wait, none of those definitions are how I use /HJ, then congratulations. That's a fourth definition, making it even more ambiguous. Anyway, from my perspective, the person who needs to interpret what people are saying, I really don't think /HJ is the best way to clarify, like, any of these cases, right? Like, a joke that has some element of truth to it is just a joke. Like, that's already the distinction between /S and /J, right? /J means something is a joke and shouldn't be interpreted literally, that it's not necessarily sarcastic. And then, this is literally true but it's funny, just straight up shouldn't require a tone indicator. If it's literally true, that doesn't really change how I should interpret the meaning of it. We already have a plethora of words for communicating that something is funny to varying degrees without changing the surface level interpretation of the text. Just use one of those. And if you're trying to be ambiguous, then, like, I guess /HJ works for that, because it is ambiguous, but it's still a weird thing to use a tone indicator for. Okay, I'm going to need to go into another example. Like, the cat video sentence was pretty contrived. I came up with that myself, and, like, I don't understand /HJ, so it's not really a representative thing to use. Fortunately, back in 2021, after I had posted something expressing some of my /HJ opinions on Tumblr, someone anonymously sent me what they considered to be a good demonstration of when the tone indicator is useful. So, here's their example.
I like /HJ because if what I'm saying literally is half joking, I'm not going to put /J on it because it's also half genuine. Like, example, I'm going to buy an absurd amount of orange juice /HJ. Makes more sense than I'm going to buy an absurd amount of orange juice /J or /J/G or /G because I feel like /J/G is just contradictory, whereas /HJ I know is half joking. This makes sense.
It's been years now and I cannot stop thinking about this. Like, I understand that this is an example, it's probably not that much better than what I've been able to come up with, but this is so important to me. I need to talk about this. I'm going to walk through step by step my exact thought process for how I interpret this. And I want you to understand that, like, I do this exact thing every single time I see /HJ in practice. It is never intuitive to me. I always need to go through this methodical process of reverse engineering the original intent. Okay. I'm going to buy an absurd amount of orange juice /HJ. What the heck does this mean? I'm going to buy an absurd amount of orange juice when interpreted literally means they're buying a lot of orange juice, and in fact, the amount of orange juice they're buying is absurd, meaning they think it's funny how much orange juice they're buying, because that's what the word absurd means. Okay, what would it mean to say this is a joke? If the whole joke is just that they think it's funny how much orange juice they're buying, then they wouldn't have needed to use a tone indicator, because the word absurd already communicates that. In a context, they specifically said that this is a case where using a tone indicator makes sense, so they're not just redundantly using a tone indicator without thinking about it, they're definitely using it to mean something specific. The first non-literal interpretation that comes to mind is that they're being ironic. They're not really buying orange juice, but as a joke, they're saying that they are. They didn't say this is a joke, they said it's a half joke, so their intent is some combination of the surface level interpretation and reading it as ironic. So what, maybe they're not buying orange juice, but they consider 0 orange juice to be an absurd amount? That would be a combination of those two interpretations, but I don't know why someone would choose to express that idea as I'm going to buy an absurd amount of orange juice half joking. Can't rule it out yet, though. Alternatively, maybe they are buying orange juice, but the amount of orange juice they're buying is absurd. Okay, this one feels more plausible, I'll investigate it further. Assuming that's what they mean, what would be the joke? They're going to buy an ordinary amount of orange juice, and they've chosen to make a joke about this. So they think that it's funny how much orange orange juice they're buying. As a joke, they're calling the amount absurd, even though it isn't really absurd. They think the amount of orange juice is funny enough to joke about it, but the premise of the joke is that they're claiming the amount of orange juice they're buying is funny, even though it isn't. So they simultaneously believe that it's a funny amount of orange juice and an unfunny amount of orange juice, which is a logical contradiction and perhaps a type 5 paradox. This would be a case of simultaneously joking and not joking, which is how Tumblr and I describe their intent, but they also said that using both /J and /G, which I guess means genuine, would be contradictory. So whatever meaning they have in mind can't be a contradiction like this. Wait, can I just interpret this literally? I might have ruled that out too early. Maybe they are just redundantly saying it's half joking, even though the words in the sentence already spell it directly that they think the amount of orange juice they're buying is funny. And by this point, I give up. Having thought through multiple plausible but unsatisfying potential, I cannot decide which one is most likely. And again, I go through this whole thought process, or something like it, every single time I see /HJ in the wild. It's really frustrating and exhausting to go through, and even when I do eventually reach a conclusion for what I think the most likely meaning is, which isn't guaranteed, I'm never, confident that I understand what the intended meaning is. Now, my goal here isn't to, tell people that they should cater the way they speak online to me personally. Obviously, /HJ means something to some people, and if it helps you communicate, great, more power to you. However, what is, the point of tone indicators if something like this exists and is one of the most popular ones? Are tone indicators an accessibility tool that help people communicate with those who otherwise would have a hard time inferring intent, or are tone indicators just trendy internet slang? Because if they are just slang, then it's really irresponsible for all those lists that circulate around to refer to tone indicators as an accessibility tool. And if they're an accessibility tool, then it's kind of a problem how malleable they are in terms of what they're supposed to mean. People claim so often that tone indicators are for accessibility, that they're specifically beneficial to autistic people, that I sort of have to assume that that's how most people are trying to use them. Tone indicators are a way of being polite, being extra clear about what you mean, just to make sure people don't misunderstand you. But in practice, people use tone indicators like they're just trendy internet slang. People use genuine and serious for hyperbole and sarcasm, because of course they do. It would be unreasonable to expect that not to happen. Tone indicators keep going in and out of fashion, and sometimes the same abbreviation can mean multiple separate tone indicators. /HYP is both hypothetical and hyperbole. And okay, this is so wild to me. One of the more popular ones is /POS for positive, and I'm sorry, whose idea was it to have an abbreviation that's used for I don't mean this as an insult? The POS? Did nobody see the problem with that? How did this one catch on? And what, the expectation is just that people who have a harder time communicating, the group of people that this accessibility tool is accommodating for, will be able to collectively keep up with all this stuff? I'm supposed to just know that it's meant as a compliment if someone says, wow, you're such a nerd / piece of shit. And even if tone indicators were used more consistently, and if things like half-joking weren't part of the system, I think even in the best case, this is still a misguided idea, because, why are they even abbreviated? What is the benefit of having all of these be shorthand?
Oh, I just remembered there's a cave in the Great Sky Island
using Twitter, but character limits don't
that has
really matter
keys.
that much anymore. You can afford to just write out the whole word. This wouldn't fix things like half-joking, but it would still be such a massive improvement. If you want to clarify what you mean by something, that's one of the main things that words are for. Even better, just write an entire separate sentence clarifying what you mean. Or, say, here's a wild idea. What if instead of adding an extra thing to clarify what you mean by something, you just rephrase the original sentence to be less ambiguous in the first place? Just say what you mean directly. It's worth giving a shot. So, here's my conclusion. To people who use tone indicators as an accessibility tool, I appreciate the effort, but please try harder. Write out the whole word. Don't expect people to memorize all these abbreviations, and just stop using half-joking as a way to clarify intent. You always have better options at your disposal. And to people who use tone indicators as internet slang, I don't know, just be aware of the ways in which you could be misunderstood. Be considerate to others and make informed decisions about which methods of communicating specific ideas are the most appropriate for a specific situation. I've been Jan Measley, and honestly, I think these things worked way better back when people still included the opening HTML tag.
I believe this is the cave I'm looking for. Right here. Please give me eyeballs. Thank you. Oh my god. Let's see if there are any more. I don't think so. I wanna go get Korok weapons. A spear might be good. Oh, who was trying to message me? Oh my god, I need so many.
Bye.
I can get Amber. May as well. Let this be my strongest combo for now. Ah, it's a black one. I got it. Light Dragon. Is this?
Adventure mode is the hardest game mode. You want wood, but you can't break blocks, so you use a creeper block. But you can't place blocks either. This game mode forces you to climb with boats, use creepers as pickaxes, and loot villages. I mean, the last one's pretty normal, but I'm also in hardcore. If I die once, the world is deleted. So can we beat the entire game in adventure mode? I think I'm gonna call it a day for food collecting. We have more than enough. I like how I said I'm done food gathering, but there's really not much else to do. Like, what are you doing in adventure mode? I guess I could go looking for chests? Okay. Okay. Treasure map. Not bad. I get the treasure chest. You tell I don't play hardcore often. I started fighting zombies with no weapon and still thought it was a good idea to get another creeper. I almost died and didn't even get the treasure, so I decided to go adventuring instead. But that also raised a question. There's any structure with a crafting game without a crafting. Okay, got some wood, got some dirt. Oh god, how do I place a crafting table?
There's an entrance to a cave around here, I'm pretty sure.
People would say, place a block without placing a block. So I couldn't place any blocks, but at least I could use a flint and steel. Set the lighter. No, of course not. You can't even light rats on fire. And I did find out I could use a bow, and we could pick berries, so you gotta take what you can get. What did I do with this information? Well, I found a fox and gave him flint and steel. I don't really know where I was going with it, but he did pick it up for a second. If we're gonna beat the game, we gotta go to the nether, which means we need to build a nether. But remember, we can't place blocks or break blocks, so what I really need is a bucket. The only place I know to get a bucket is a village. No, wait. I pray. Hello, fine sir. I have some of the finest leather in the nation. Oh, I don't even have enough leather. Dang it. I got a few carrots from the ruined portal, but the village didn't have much, so I went adventuring instead. No wonder they call it adventure mode, Montague. Oh, that's cute. I have a companion now. We just need a name. Some of you guys might not like this name. All of my tools, I didn't put a period for their name, or like the quotations, and said, you're gonna be hashtag. I think that's a fire name. Hashtag the dog. And I've never been such a nomad. That's a spruce. Yeah, oh my gosh! I've been walking around for an hour! Oh my gosh, I can make it. Please! You can't pick up water with a bucket. Eventually, we need another way to end that. But we still have a crafting table. This is huge. I can turn that into a gold bar. I can make a boat. Arrows. Not just a pain. I think we might just have to throw this bucket away. Because it's pointless. Oh, I can shear that. Okay. Yo. Campfires. You know what this means? Oh, we can cook. We can cook. Thanks. Oh, I can make a shield! Oh my gosh, why did I not do that earlier? I have just enough resources. Oh my god. Not gonna lie, the bucket mechanic really sucks, but we had a shield now, and it was as good a time as any to try to get some mob. Okay, I might regret this. Oh my gosh.
Actually, I remember there's a cave entrance near one of the hills on Lookout Landing.
You can be my new friend, yes!
Maybe there's a key swarm that spawns there as well.
Hashtag. This is the point in adventure mode where everybody has failed. Getting to them. You can't line up city. You can't place them city.
I need more keys. I want my knight armor leveled up.
Every playthrough has to cheat to get to them. Even large YouTubers like SB737 had to cheat to make a portal. Sure, you could find the perfect seed where a ruined portal is already made, but I found something that nobody seems to. Adventure mode has been around for almost a decade. In that time, there have been many updates. There is one version of Adventure buckets can be used. Version 1 or 2. I fixed that. But converting my world to 1.4 has a load of consequences. It'll delete all my items and entirely corrupt the world. But a tip I learned from this YouTube video is that if you travel 200 blocks away, you can successfully switch your game, keep all of your old items safe, play on the oldest version. So with this in mind, I began downgrading my world. First, we convert the world to 1.8. This is pretty easy to copy. For like in Minecraft, the world isn't in the right version, but it's required so that it doesn't crash. Converting it to 1.4 is where the problems start. Yes, okay. Uh-oh. I think it crashed. I eventually got it working, but I had to leave all of my items behind in an unloaded chunk, which means I have to start all over, get a bucket, and make another port. The first sign of progress came with the village. I got inside one of the houses, but it was the middle of the night, and a zombie started breaking down the door. Oh, dude, get out. So this is quite the predicament I'm in. 3 hearts, starving, and surrounded by monsters. I'm so stupid. I am so stupid. I need that food. Oh my gosh. Oh my mouth. Dude, okay, let's go check out this blacksmith. That wasn't useful. It was a starter, but no fucking event or adventure. This village didn't have buckets either, but closer look at the wiki revealed that any block can be mined with the correct tool. This means I can mine stone with a pickaxe and chop trees with an axe. Which begs the question, why didn't I do this whole thing in 1.4? Well, it doesn't matter, because we still need to get wood to make the tools. Means we need a creeper. Yes! I used those 3 logs to help make a bucket. All we need is a lava, but I still need to find a lava. What? What? Nether portals are okay. Maybe you don't light up if we switch back to the version that we're supposed to be on. Slide. Oh my gosh, we did it. The portal was lit, but I still needed to get my dogs and all of my items, which were now 2,000 blocks away. That is definitely corrupt. Oh, sweet home. All of my items. Actually, I found the dogs, but due to some sort of AI glitch, only the couple teleport to me. So from here on out, it's just gonna be me. Hashtag you. Alright, hashtag or AKA period. Are you ready to go to the Nether? That's no problem. There appears to be lava surrounding the portal. Can I? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I figured out a way to get it.
How do I not kill myself?
Might be no way of getting out of here. Yes, you're supposed to climb. That's so cool. Oh, what do I need to find? I need to find a fortress, and I need to get a lot more pearl. The thing I'm most concerned about is getting to a spot where I get out. No! My God! Dude, if I lose this boat, I am done. That jump was so scary. I'm so dumb. Yes! Oh, we found one. I think that's the place spot. How do I even get up there? Are you kidding me? My shield! How am I supposed to survive? Okay, we're out of your cave. Actually, oh yeah, there we go. 16 for almost guys. Finding a stronghold. That's true. Oh, I gotta find like exposed.
Oh my god, yes! So much yes!
So laggy, I have to change it. On good. No, regardless of the time to find stronghold. Somewhere along the way, my dog stopped teleporting. We did find the stronghold. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can't do, but we do have plant steel, and creepers do exist. Yes. Okay, sounds good. It's not just that. The only problem with the creeper method is that I could be doing it in the completely wrong spot. So I did the replay mod, which is where I got all my cinematic shots, and I indeed was blowing up in the wrong spot. But I also found a spot where there's only a couple of dirt feeding into where if I can get you can follow the caves to the spot. However, yes, okay, that was yes. Guys, I set a phone. Okay. Yeah, okay. I want to save all of my sources or back down cave. There is one block disconnected to another cave. So if I use it, I can go together. So I have to enter pearl to here, right? Place blocks. If I place a bow here and paddle, so we're in the cave. We're at Y level, that is diamond level. So here, there's connection to this problem. Now we just need to find the portal. Right open. More diamonds. It's only 9 times back. Let's go.
Alright, I'll go get to the Hateno Tower, and then that'll be the last thing I do.
Now actually place the Eyes of Ender. Turns out you can do it before, but as we've learned, converting new versions.
I was supposed to continue the story, but I got sidetracked. I guess.
Thankfully, that was a fact. When converting to 112, the world generation changes, so I got stuck inside of the wall. I need to find a way to downgrade the wall without changing the terrain. Luckily for me, there was a way. I just had to spend 2 hours trying to figure it out. When I said I figured it out, I meant I could get my character to 1.4. The only problem my entire inventory gets deleted. So I made the right version. I could place the Eyes of Ender in the portal, but I don't have the Eyes of Ender. A forum explains this very well. When you open the world back in 1.7, Minecraft goes, what the heck are these? And therefore, deletes it. I'm doing all this research. I found the problem on the Minecraft website, and this is just salted. The moderator says, downgrading, not support. And then tried tweaking for you to try to get Minecraft to recognize it. But that didn't work either. I tried storing my items in an offshore location, throwing them on the ground, changing versions. I spent days troubleshooting this, trying to get Minecraft to just recognize my inventory. But nothing worked. Could I have really gotten to the strong? All of the correct items, only to have Minecraft slap me in the face and say I can't do it. Not exactly, Jessica. The land, get my brother's Minecraft account, join the game, give him the eyes. Anyway, we did it. We did it! All my methods what you will, but I think it's a little rough. Okay, let's land. Keeps on.
I can probably get the guts in Lizelle tail. There's a Hinox here. What about green Lizelles? The difficulty of this save file has already increased quite a bit, so low tier enemies are becoming a lot more rare. Whatever. 36 defense, that's good enough.